Hello and thank you for joining me. I'm Heather Forgan of stampwithnellie.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator based in the UK, and today's video is part of the Stamp Around UK video hop, so there will be a list of participants in the description. Please do check out their videos too. Our theme for this month is In Colors, so I've picked out some of the 2022 to 2024 in colours, which are Copper Clay, Wild Wheat and Moody Mauve, and I've snuck in some Peach Pie from the 2024 to 2026 in colours. And I thought this would give me a nice kind of autumnal palette. And I'm combining those with a bundle and a stamp set that are online exclusives. So I'm using of Art and Texture, and then I'm using a sentiment from Encircled in Nature. I'm going with this one, I think. You mean so much to me. And I am using one of the dies, one of the very many dies from Encircled in Nature. Okay, so the plan is that I will create a little piece of, I've got a scrap of watercolour paper here that's big enough for that die, and I'm going to use these inks on that. I've got a card base, and then I've got a layer of copper clay that will be followed with a layer of wild wheat. I've also got some peach pie ribbon that I'll decide exactly how I'm going to use that, and a little bit scrap of peach pie card as well. And I also need a little bit of basic white card, so I'll just put that to the side there. So I'm going to stamp my background using of Art and Texture, but to allow this extra time to dry, I will do that bit first. Okay, so I want to use Moody Mauve. I'm not going to use the peach pie for that. I use wild wheat and copper clay for this. So my first starting off point is to spritz this piece of Fluid 100 watercolour paper, just with water. Nothing fancy, just water. And then I'm going to add each of these colours onto these tiny little clear blocks. Now, we don't sell these little ones anymore, but the next one up would do just fine. Oops. I just find these really handy for little palettes. Okay, so put them to the side, and again with my spritzer, where to put it, right in front of me, add a little bit of water to each of those. And I've got 3 just normal paint brushes here, nothing fancy, just different sizes. And I'll start off with one of the colours. See how it spreads. Isn't that fabulous? I love watercolour paper. Okay, obviously didn't get enough water up in that corner there, but I can add it now. Let's go in with some copper clay. There's no pattern. I'm just adding these colours in whatever I fancy. Need a bit more of the wild wheat in there. Okay, so you can, that was a muddy one, let that dry naturally, or as I'm going to do, I am going to set it with my heat tool. And what I'm going to do is just add in some extra blotches. Mix my colours. Okay, so I'm going to dry that with my heat tool. I'm going to clean up my mess and then I will die cut it with this, and then we can come back and do our background. So this is almost dry. It'll be fully dry by the time we get round to putting it onto my card. Isn't that quite effective? And if you feel that your colours have kind of faded a little bit too much, let me clean this brush because I can't remember which colour was on it. It's the little one that I had. Oops. And say you want to put in a little bit extra on there just to brighten up some bits or give it a better concentration of one of the colours, then you can do that as well. I just like that it is quite abstract on there. Right, so those bits to the side, and then we can come in with our piece of white and the inks that I want to use for my background. So I'm going to use Copper Clay and Wild Wheat again. I'm exchanging my Moody Mauve for some Peach Pie. Okay, so I've selected some of the stamps from Art and Texture. So there's a whole load that you can choose from there. I've got this one that I'm going to ink up with Wild Wheat. And then I'm going to turn it around and do the other side, and I'll just put a little bit in the middle there as well. And then I've got this one with Copper Clay. Again, fill in with second, third, fourth generation ink on there too. And then I'm going to fill in with Peach Pie. It's a little bit brighter. With this kind of splatter. And I think that might do it. So we've got a bit in the middle that's not really going to be seen, because I am going to, that's my Wild Wheat, I'll keep that one open. And this card got splashed. Doesn't matter. Right, my sentiment stamp, I'm going to, you mean so much to me, Wild Wheat, and then I'm cutting that with the Heartfelt Hexagon. Try and centre that, like so. And then that scrap of Peach Pie card, bring this back in, I'm going to use on the same punch. Like so. Right, now I want to get my bigger scissors. that down the middle. But I want to add a little bit of stamping onto this as well. Like that. And then I can glue that onto there. So I think I'm done with that ink for now. So I'm going to add glue to the top and bottom of that. And line that one up like so. Haven't pressed it in place yet until I am happy that I've got them fairly similar. Give that a little press. Okay, so I'm going to trim this down. My particular, take a little bit off there first. This one I want to be 13 centimetres by 9 centimetres. Okay, so at the moment it's 10, so if I take half a centimetre off there and the other side. Okay, so that will then layer up with this one that's 9.5 by 13.5, and then my next layer is 10 by 14, and my card base is 10.5 by 14.5. So we've just got that little step down. Right, so now I want to decide exactly how I'm going to put these on. I think that goes there, and then there, or like that, and like that. Just do the bottom. If I'm just doing the bottom, I want a little bit more stamping on that side. And to protect my other layer, use a post-it note or a scrap of card. Didn't get much on there, did I? I'll do. So yeah, I think I will line that up with the bottom of that. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on there. And then I can add in, oops, that was probably a little too little. Let me bring in my little pot. So I want on this one, like that. I would not recommend using your finger to add the glue because you get really sticky. However, needs must sometimes. And the same on that side. So on here, like that. I might overlap those, the bottom, and I'll just coerce that around like that. Yep, love it. I think I'm just going to put my ribbon around this one layer, and I'm going going to pop that in place with some tearing tape. Okay, so roughly halfway. Could measure it. But clearly I'm not. Pull that over to halfway. Put it round the back and another little bit of tear and tape to hold it in place. Then add glue. I will take the backing off that tear and tape, and that can help keep it stuck down too. Come on. Yeah. That's going on that one. And then onto the next layer. Now I could have cut some pieces out of the middle of that, but I do actually have quite a lot of these colours. Well, certainly the copper clay seem to have a lot of that left. Must try and use some more. Right, and then I'm going to go dimensionals with the top piece. Put them close to the edge. Like that. Take the backings off. A little dab of glue to give me time to make sure I'm happy with where I'm putting it. Whoa. Or where I'm dropping it on my card. Let's get that off soon. And then pop that like that. Is that centre-ish? Go for it. And then I'm going to add in some peach pie resin dots. One in there. And another one there. No, let's go for more. Why not? One more. One more large one. Down the bottom here. Yeah, let's do it. And there we have it. I have my In Colors card, mixing up the two current sets of In Colors to use boiled wheat, copper clay, Moody Mauve and peach pie. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. If you have, please give me a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel, please do click on that subscribe button, click the bell and get notification the next time I upload a tutorial. Please do remember to check out everyone else taking part in this Stamp Around the UK video hop. The links are in the description for this video, along with a link to my associated blog post. Thanks for watching.